Erev Tov, Rabbi. Let's continue talking about Chol Hamoed. A lot of things to discuss. One of the big questions, right, which comes up on Chol Hamoed is, should you work? You shouldn't go to work. Should your job, this, that, right? So the truth is, that on Chol Hamoed, what the Torah wants from you is that you shouldn't work. That's what the Torah wants from you. So what does that mean? If you have like a vacation, all year round, you should take 2 weeks off, right? To take those 2 weeks. One is Pesach, one is Sukkot. Try to take those 2 weeks off. This way you won't have to work on Chol Hamoed, because Chol Hamoed is working. It's not, it defeats the purpose of the holiday. It's not really the proper thing to do. So when is the only time or situation, right, that a person can work on Chol Hamoed? If it's going to cause him a loss. So what does that mean? The boss will fire him, right? Or he's going to lose some money, What does it mean to lose money, by the way? I'll explain to you what that means. It doesn't mean you're not going to make money. We know you're not going to make money because you're not going to work. That's not what it means. What it means is that you're going to lose the money you have also. That's what we're talking about. You're going to lose that too. So that if that's the case, then you're allowed to work. So even, it says in the Chazon Ovadia, even if a person is safek, vapros, he's not sure if he's going to, right, the boss is going to fire him or not. Maybe he has a doubt. Maybe he will. He's allowed to be lenient, and go to work because he's not sure, He doesn't want to get fired, doesn't want to lose his money, right? So even if it's a doubt, you're still allowed to go and work because of that. But otherwise, right, if you're okay, you're doing good in life, you got a good business, whatever, you got a nice job, you can take a vacation. So this is the vacation you should take on Chol Hamoed, right? That's the thing to do. But here's the thing, you have to understand one thing though. Why did the Rabbi say don't go to work on Chol Hamoed? What's the reason why? The whole thing, it says in the Gemara Yerushalmi, Tanit Yerushalmi, it says over there, the reason is because you're supposed to learn Torah on Chol Hamoed. That's the whole thing, right? That's what they made the whole Chol Hamoed for, the rabbis. To make these rules, not to do this labor, not to do this melacha. To sit and learn Torah. Why is that? Because all year round, right, most people, what are they doing? They're working, right? They got business, they got a job, they got this, they got that, right? So because of that, they don't have much time to learn Torah. So the rabbis gave you 2 weeks out of the year, they tell you, listen, don't go to work, sit and learn Torah. That's what we gave it for you to. So what happens, right? Some people, unfortunately, they don't go to work, they say, oh, I'm religious, I'm Haredi, I'm religious, I don't go to work. But what do they do instead? Instead of going to learn Torah, they do, leisure activities, recreation, This one goes to Florida, this one goes upstate, this one goes to the Bahamas, right? This one goes over here, this one goes over there, this one goes, to play golf, miniature, and this one goes bowling, and this one goes here, this one goes there, wasting time on all these things. The truth is that they said in the Gemara Yerushalmi that if you're going to do all these things, on Chol Hamoed, better to go to work, at least make some money, Why waste time with all this nonsense? All this recreation, That's not, Chol Hamoed is not for recreation, this is the thing. So, unfortunately, today that's what it's become. It's become like a recreation time. Yeah, let's go, let's run. Allah, get on the plane, get on the bus, right? Get on the train, get on this, get on that. Go here, go there, run over here, run over there. That's not what it's for. Chol Hamoed is for Torah. That's what they made it for. So if you're gonna do that, then you're gonna catch the right feeling. They say the Chazal, by the way, on the Chag, you're supposed to make yourself and also your family happy, right? Simcha. You have to have v'samachta b'chagecha. So Chazal said, right, how do you make your family and yourself happy? They said the men, what they like, right? They like basar and yain, right? To eat some good food, nice steaks, nice wine, good stuff, right? Have a good time with that stuff, right? Get a little tweezy, right? A little, right? Have it spinning a little bit, have a good time, enjoy yourself, right? Sing some zmirot, say some divrei Torah. That's good for men. What about the women, right? The truth is, the women don't really go crazy for this stuff, having steaks, and drinking wine, Some of them, they do like that, but most of them, they're not really into this stuff. You give it to a woman, she's going to tell you, what do I need this for, I want to be a vegetarian, I want to be vegan. They're going to tell you, I don't want this stuff, don't give me this stuff, these big steaks. What do I need it for? I want to be healthy. So what makes them happy? So say the Chazal, what makes them happy? Buy them some jewelry, buy them some clothing, right? That's what you gotta do. Buy them some begadim for the holiday. Take them and buy some rings, and bracelets and necklaces and all that stuff, earrings, That's what the ladies like. That's what makes them happy, you know? So do what makes them happy. Buy them those things for the holiday, right? That's the whole thing. That's why, all the religious guys, the ones who really know about these things, what they do is they run, before the holiday to buy for their wife, They go to, 47th Street, or some jewelry store, you know what I mean? And they go over there, put some money down there, you know what I mean? Bach, 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 bach. They buy some things, they bring it for their wife. Oh, the wife is smiling, right? Big smile on her face like this, right? Up to her cheeks, right? Whatever. That's the way it is, That's what makes them happy. So they say, what about the children? What makes the children happy? So, what makes the kids happy more than anything else, right? Buy them some treats, candy, right? And chocolates, and all these goodies, chips and all these snacks. That's what they like, the kids, They like to snack and munch and stuff and like that. That's what makes them happy. So each one has his own happiness, according to his right situation, as we said. That's what it's all about, But the problem is today, things have gotten a little bit mixed up. And I'll tell you what it is, There's a little bit of a problem. The problem is like this, they're thinking, the parents, when Chol Hamoed comes, I'm going to take my kids, here and there. I'm going to take them to vacations, this and that. That's not what they said to Chazal, to take your children, to recreational things. They said to give them some treats. It's not the same thing, what I mean? Because when you have to take them on recreation, take them over here, take them over there, you're losing your time. You have no time for Torah. So then what's the point of Chol Hamoed? Again, right, same thing. There's no point. You're losing the point over there, This is what the Yetzer Hara does, you see? This is the thing. Yetzer Hara knows how to play games on your head, So it gets you to do things which are not in the spirit of the holiday, to waste your time on nonsense. You know what I mean? Instead of doing all the good things you're supposed to do, spiritual things. That's what Chol Hamoed is all about, That's the thing. So a person who understands this, right, then he's going to have a good holiday. If he doesn't understand these things, and he goes, and all the time, here, running over here, running over. Where are you running to? Where are you going? What's it going to help you? All these things. You think you're going to be happy because you ran somewhere? You ran away somewhere? It's not going to make you happy. You're just going to get depressed. That's what it is. You're going to think, oh my God, this holiday, what is it for? That's what's going to happen, because your neshama is not getting any nourishment from traveling around. Your neshama is not getting any pleasure from that. Only your body, maybe your body, you think your body's getting something, whatever. But it's not for your body. The holiday is not for the body. It's for the neshama. That's the thing, That's what you got to understand. Okay, that's one more thing I'll discuss and we'll stop here. Also another thing, which is a major question, always comes up in Chol Hamoed. What am I allowed to buy? What am I not allowed to buy, right? Making purchases, right? This is also another question. So the truth is, there are certain things you cannot buy on Chol Hamoed. There are certain things you can buy. So what's an example, right? Whatever you need for the holiday, you can buy it. That's, no question about that, right? You need this, you need clothing, you need something, whatever, shoes, whatever. If you need that for the holiday, you buy it for the holiday. Yes, good, very good. Right? That's perfect. Beautiful. Go for it. Whether it's food, whether it's wine, right, or whatever, any other item like that. You can buy anything like that. But things which you don't need for the holiday, don't buy those things on Chol Hamoed. You're wasting your time. You're wasting all the holiday with, going shopping, Yeah, you want to go shopping, right? Go to the mall, walk around, Yeah, I like this, and this is not for the holiday like that, If you need something, buy it. If you don't need something, don't waste your time walking around the malls. You know what I mean? This is not what the Chol Hamoed is for. It's not for this. So things depends on what you need. One time a person, I remember, he asked me, he said, Rabbi, am I allowed to buy a car on Chol Hamoed? That's the question, right? So, you may think I'm going to tell him, oh no, don't buy a car, But that's not what I told him. I told him, I said, if you need the car for the holiday, you can buy it, If you need to drive, you have no other car, you know what I mean? So you need it for the holiday. Okay, go to the dealer, and sign the paper and take it out, What can I do, right? That's the way it goes. If you need it, you need it. But if you don't need it, why waste time, going looking for a car on Chol Hamoed? What a waste of time, total waste of time, Well, it's not what it's for, again, right? Same idea. So it really depends on if you need it for the holiday or not. But other things, what you don't need for the holiday, just to buy it, and like to say, what? Yeah, I'm going to buy this, just put it away, and then I'll use it like, next week, after the holiday. So then buy it next week. Why buy it now? Right? Why are you wasting your holiday on this, But the thing is like this. They say, Ramosha Feinstein, there are some poskim who say that if you have like a sale going on, and the sale is going to end by the end of the holiday, so now if you buy, you're going to save some money, So that they allow you to buy, because it's again, right? This is called davar aved. You're going to lose something if you you're going to lose money because the sale is going to end. So if you have something like this, where the sale, you're going to save some money, they allow you to buy something, even which is not for the holiday. Why? Because, you're going to lose money on that, if you don't buy it now. There's a sale going on. That's what it's all about, right? So something like that, you're allowed to buy, right? So it depends, again, the same thing. The whole thing is, you want to concentrate on things that you want for the holiday, right? That's the most important focus. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ואמן. רבי חנן המגש אומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לא זוכר ישראל, לפיכך ירבה להם תורה ומצוות שנאמר אדוני חפש, למען צדקו יגדיל תורה וידיר.